order that we ordered about half an hour ago, and it hasn't arrived. We're talking a combo for 6 people. Where is the order?
Where is the other 4 people?
Yeah, I don't understand. They're on their way. Okay, so they've been on their way for how long now? Okay, so I appreciate the feedback, but I'm really hoping they do arrive in the next 10 minutes. If not, I will reach back out. Okay, thank you. Okay, great.
You just realized you submitted the order 2 minutes ago, right? And we're not that hungry. We're not gonna die just because the food is gonna take 45
These people
minutes.
have traveled from a faraway place, and I expect my service and my order like ASAP.
They're not gonna die for 45 minutes.
That is what you
You
think.
just submitted it 2 minutes ago and you're already calling.
2 minutes your time.
No patience. No patience.
Pacific versus East.
No patience. What is this?
No patience. Time to sit down and let me educate you about patience.
Ooh, all right. Cash me outside then.
Asseyez-vous! Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. We hope you enjoyed that skit. That was an example of restaurant ordering, and I know it's kind of extreme of like 3 minutes according to what he said, but that is what happened.
According to what I said.
According to what he said, we just went along with that. But we're going to talk about patience this morning, and how many of you have issues with patience or holding it together? I know a lot of us do, and if you say you don't, you're lying. Because we do!
Listen, I am a good Latino and I have patience, but
when the Latino side comes out and when the Indian side comes, the West Indian side comes out, let me tell you.
if you get me to that point though, I'm just gonna be like, wanna take this outside?
Yeah, let's take it to the streets. Okay, so we're joking. But patience, right? Like if we discuss patience, we're discussing, I'm thinking in the respect of when you expect something because you've put in work, you've planned for it, and the results don't come as you expect it to be, how do you feel in that respect of patience? And patience is something that can either make it or break it. And it's human nature to expect things now, or 5 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago, as you said, or something. And we need to do better, but it's important to discuss it, vent together, and get through it. So short-term versus long-term plans. How many times have you thought that you planned something through and the short-term results that it didn't come through, and then the long-term results, it didn't come true because you had to wait a bit longer and then it did happen? Have you ever experienced that?
Yes, and then I get upset, and reason why we get upset when we have planned something and then it doesn't go accordingly, it's not because we don't have patience. It's because we feel that something wrong was done, which make us react that way. We all have patience. The thing is, how are we reacting when we feel that disrespect or that wrongdoing towards us?
We have a reaction to the
problem, to the issue. So of course we all experience that. Heck, I know I have. Last time I flew on a plane, they canceled my flight because I was supposed to fly from Ohio to Texas, and now from Texas to here to Florida, and they canceled it because there was a storm in Texas or something going on with the weather. I didn't end up getting home until the next day. And guess what? I was a very unhappy camper, and I feel bad for the ladies that work at the counter for, I'm just gonna say, X Airlines, to say the least, because Lord knows I rain on them.
So that kind of something similar happened to me with that, and I actually went up to the counter because you had a long line in an airline, and I said, you know what, I appreciate everything you're doing for me. I'm not going to give you the stress. I'm not going to tell you off. I just want to tell you there is one person that understands what it's like to be behind. So sometimes you take a step back, and you could be reasonable, but at the same time, there's only a certain amount of logic and patience you can experience.
So I always tell my friends is that, because believe it or not, I can be impatient for certain things, but for a lot of things I have a lot of patience. I rarely lose my composure even if I'm upset. And
same.
my friends always ask me, they're like, well, what's the secret for you to stay like sane or whatnot when you lost your patience? And I always tell them, patience go along with empathy.
Yes.
If you don't have empathy to experience what that person is feeling on the other side of the phone, on the other side of the counter, whatever it is, then you won't have patience. But if you have the empathy, then you can put yourself in that person's shoes, and you're gonna be like, you know what? They're actually trying to help me solve my problem. And if I was on their shoes, like, I will feel the same exact way. So let me just take a step back. So that's one technique that works for me in my personal life. If you want to take it, good, and if not, then.
And I think the reason why it works for him and what he described is exactly applying to me, ironically, because we both deal with customers in our actual work lives. And I have dealt with them for years, in real life, in person before, and now virtually. However, the reason the customer experience is always 9/10 out, or almost 10 on 10 most of the time, is because I remember what it was like to be the customer. I remember what it was like to experience that. And when you don't forget what it's like to be the other side, that's where you give that best customer service experience.
Correct.
Because who likes to be served by someone that says, yeah, okay, yeah, huh, what? And repeat yourself. Whereas another experience would be like what we do. So this is what I'm going to do for you. This is what I understood. This is what I'm going to do for you. Did I get everything right? Okay, great. Here's your case number, or here's your confirmation number. Great, here you go. And here's the follow-up schedule for this date. Is there anything else I can do to assist you? And I love getting that service. So guess what? I'm going to give that service. But you do get off days. So it's okay. That's when you have to take 5. Walk away. And I know it's hard to do sometimes, but that's where we have to remind each other. So that is really a big part of this. But the other part is in your individual lives that I wanted to discuss is when we are coming up with long-term plans, we also need to come up with short-term plans. And this is personal to each of our lives, right? So if you come up with short-term goals and short-term rewards, I feel like that's going to help. So what do I mean by that? I mean, like, if I say that I'm going to start, let me make an example. I want to cycle 20 miles, right? I'm not going to do 20 miles in one day. I'm going to start doing maybe 2 miles, and then when I'm ready, maybe 5 miles, and so on and so forth. But for each mile that I get, even if I don't get to those 2 miles in the first shot and I get there eventually, guess what? I'm going to praise myself, or I'm going to reward myself some way, somehow. I'm going to give a high five to someone that I know that is sharing the same passion as I do, and then say, hey, I did it. Like, I didn't think I could do it. Because when you encourage yourself, you inspire yourself. You keep yourself going, because you can't depend on other people to keep doing that for you. You need to hold that, because that's the push that you need to keep going. If you don't keep inspiring and pushing yourself, you're not going to get to your long-term goal. So in order to get to your long-term goal, you have to have these discussions internally. But sometimes I need to have a real human and say, Marlon, this is the situation, what's happening right now. This is what I've done. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? Why am I feeling this way? Because you're human. It's okay. And that is my input. Have you had experience, have you ever done the short-term rewards and short-term plan thing to reward yourself as you get to a goal?
Yeah. So, for example, my reward will be well, let's say I'm trying to save money, right? So I'm not going to spend this week on I'm not going to spend this week on Starbucks or dining out because I'm saving money.
That's a big one.
So guess what I'm going to reward myself with? Well, maybe if I didn't go out for the past 2 weeks, now I'm going to go ahead and reward myself and buy me something for myself. Maybe a t-shirt or a pair of sneakers that I want or something as a small reward, because I've saved, let's say, $300. So now that I have $300 saved, if I were to spend $39, it's not gonna hurt me, right? That's just an example.
Yeah.
To show you. So there is so many different techniques for you to have patience and for you to have that drive. So like I just said, empathy is one of them. Alvin just said long-term, short-term, and rewarding yourself because you're getting to that place. So Guys, it's just all about finding out what works for you. But in order for something to work for you, you need to be realistic with yourself.
Let's not put unrealistic goals. Maybe you will make a triathlon or whatever the case is, but it takes time to get up the mountain. Like I always give this famous example, and I'm going to leave this off with you guys. The Price is Right example of my favorite game, which I haven't seen this in a while, by the way. The one, and I'm going to make all of you laugh now. The one where basically he goes up the mountain, it's yada, 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 yada. He goes, and then you bid it, and it goes, and it goes down. That is exactly how I think of this. Yes, whatever, the cliffhanger thing. Yes, yeah, I think that's what it's called. But yes, that's the one. That is the one that I always think of. People think they can go from 0 to 100 overnight. No, no, no. It takes time. So with that said, we hope this video has inspired you. But wait, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just think be patient. Have patience on the process.
Actually, wait. He brought it up. Telling someone to be patient is going to make them more impatient. So telling someone that, don't do that. That's probably going to do the reverse. No, no, no. No bueno. No. So remember that. So stay tuned to our next Optimize video next week. We hope you've enjoyed this one. Give us a thumbs up, a comment, a like, and we'll see you in a week.